Linguist Stephen Krashen developed a monitor model that consists of 5 hypotheses entirely about second language acquisition. The hypothesis we are focusing on in this video is known as Krashen's affective filter. When acquiring a second language, Krashen believes that every learner's brain has an internal processing system that is subject to interference based on their motives, their needs, attitudes, and emotional states.
If a student's affective filter is high, that means it is capable of limiting what the student pays attention to, what will be learned, and the speed at which they can do so. Alienation, anxiety, self-consciousness, nervousness, fright, and even boredom are all factors that can lead to a high affective filter. Krashen even argues that if a learner holds any resentment towards the speakers of the target language, the filter can limit the amount of learning a student can do.
When it comes to teaching a student their second language, a teacher should not be concerned with aptitude or if the child is smart enough to learn the language. Instead, they should create a language environment that is positive, supportive, and enhances every child's language learning.
Let's go into a submersion program classroom with students who are learning English as a second language. In a submersion program, students have no option but to be placed into a classroom where their first language is never used and is hardly protected. They are in an environment where they may have little to no knowledge of the language being spoken and are surrounded by students who may only speak the second language, thus heightening their vulnerability. Here, we will see an example of an environment that encourages a high affective filter.
Okay, class. Well, last week we took a vocabulary quiz. Some of you did okay, but others failed miserably. So we're going to review for next week's quiz. So can anyone tell me what this is? Anyone? Nobody can tell me. Jackie, what is this?
It is una mesa.
You're incorrect. I wanted that word in English, not Spanish. Amy, can you tell me what this is?
It's a table. We use it to do our schoolwork. It's a table.
Thank you, Amy. Someone has been paying attention. Yes, this is a table. You're very smart, Amy. Good job.
Now, here's an immersion program classroom that demonstrates the type of environment we want to create for our English language learning students in order to promote optimum language acquisition and comprehension. It should be noted that in an immersion program, students are voluntarily placed into the program and are generally taught by a teacher who speaks their first language and understands their culture. This example shows students with low affective filters.
Wow, class, you did so well in last week's vocabulary quiz. I'm seeing some major improvements in your guys' English. So now we're going to review for this next week's quiz. So can anyone tell me what this is? Jackie.
Es una silla.
Oh, you're so close. It is a silla, but do you remember the word in English? No? Well, Amy, do you know?
Is it a seat?
That's a really good guess. Seat is another word for chair. And chair is the word that I'm going to ask for on the quiz, but you guys both have really good answers.
A student with a high affective filter will begin to try and speak a new language on the first day of class, feel confident that they know what they're doing, seclude themselves and feel discouraged to learn due to fear or embarrassment, or most likely belong to a positive and encouraging learning environment. In a few sentences, explain how a teacher can help to create an environment that can bring on low affective filters. Then, explain one that can bring on high affective filters.
That's all, folks.